Hello, hello, and Happy New Year. Happy 2023 to you and to everyone that you love. And this year is going to be amazing. I'm not even going to say may this year be amazing or may it be better than last year for you and I. I'm just going to kind of will it. I'm going to decree it as an amazing year where many of us see palpable differences in the immediate environment that is surrounding us. That's how I. Hey, where did my comments go? Oh, there, yeah. So that's how I'm going to start my live stream. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your new year to spend it with me here in our little community, which I'm very grateful for. And yeah, I'm happy, very happy to be here and see everyone. Hello, Brandon. How are you, honey? How was your new year? What did you guys do? Who went out? Who got drunk? Who got laid? Tell me. I want to hear it. I wanted to stay up until I said I was going to stay up because I don't live too close to the like city core where they do the fireworks. But I did want to say, like I said, I was going to try to stay up until at least I could hear them and I could see the lights like from the balcony. But I ended up falling asleep at exactly like 11:30 and I missed everything. But it's fine. It's all good. Corey Orit. Woohoo! Yes. Nothing major. Hello, Brielle. Hello. Did you party, Brielle? I'm sure Brielle partied like a crazy woman. No, I'm kidding. How was your New Year's Eve and did you celebrate? You stayed home and went to bed early. And here I am saying Brielle celebrated. It's fine. You do you. You do what's best for you. Everybody, it's funny. We're expected to go out and, like we're trained by society that you have to go out and celebrate New Year and, who did you celebrate New Year with and what did you do and what did you see and but for a lot of us, spending it on a couch with a book and alone, enjoying some soft music or a cup of tea is it. That's our New Year celebration. That's pretty much what I did. I was reading a book. I read a book. I don't read, well, it's Kindle, I guess. Like, I'm reprogramming my subconscious mind. So I've been really diving heavy duty into those types of books. And up until like 11:15 last night, I was like immersed in joy as I was reading this book. Nothing, no amount of going out, no amount of celebration or people, I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating, that I could think of at least, would have given me the joy that I felt last night sitting on my little couch in front of an electronic fire and reading that book and learning about my mind and how I have not utilized it properly, you know, for the entirety of my life. Because I grew up in this system that we all grew up in that tells us specific things that we end up believing. Yeah. So I do have a few things that I wanted to talk about, but the discussion is open. I only wish that I got laid. Well, you know what? If you start reading the books, Brandon, you should subscribe to my you should consider subscribing to my Patreon, Brandon, because the next set, and I know I've been neglecting people in my Patreon. Hopefully, I do have a cold, and it's really stormy here. Like, I'm getting a lot of sinus pain, sinus pressure, but I did get a tongue drum for Christmas, so I might do a short meditation to help people in my Patreon understand how to reprogram their mind and bring their thoughts into a manifested reality in front of them. So I kind of, the books that I've been reading have to do a lot with, they're old books. They're not even new books. They were written before, I think during the First World War, a lot of these books by a prominent psychologist who was, it's funny because he interprets the Bible and he interprets actual biblical verses into psychological terms, and it just clicked for me. I'm like, wow, wow, like, wouldn't it been nice if this has been the way it was explained to humanity throughout the ages, rather than scare us with an imaginary hell, or shame us with he died for your sins, and all this rubbish and this biblical rubbish. At least where I come from, Muhammad apparently rode on a donkey and went up to the sky. I'm like, come on, don't insult my intelligence. Don't, and people believe this garbage. I'm like, if we could ride on donkeys and fly back then, why can't we do it now? you know but he takes this aspect, I guess, of the Bible, and he interprets it into psychological means, and it's incredible. I'm like, wow, what a way to interpret the Bible. Where is this now? The Bible thumpers who scare you and shame you, wouldn't it be nice if they actually interacted with your intellect? Maybe we wouldn't be where we are right now, worldwide, not just in Western society, where people completely reject religion, completely reject faith, completely hate any association with any religious context. The term God gives people shivers. They literally, shivers run down their spine if you use the term God. And they're deterred. Like, if they hear it, they're like, ugh, ugh. Wouldn't we be in a different place in society right now if we appeal to people's intellect rather than their fears? But sorry, I went on a rant there. But that's actually part of what I did want to talk about. Brandon, if you thought about getting laid, you can manifest that, honey. And I can help you manifest that in my Patreon. Okay? I just wanted to throw that out there. Any man who wants to get laid, join my Patreon. I'll make it happen. Sorry, that sounds weird. I'll make it happen. Not me, like, anyhow, I explain how you can manifest it into reality. I'm not going to make it happen for you. Oh my God, I need to watch what I'm saying. Brielle, you should read the Butterfly Effect book. Okay, I'll put it on my list. Thank you, Brielle. Such an intelligent young woman. Wow. Thank you. I'm going to actually add it to my list for things to read this year. Yeah. No, you still need to join my Patreon, Brandon. You still need to join it. May all your wishes come true. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Happy New Year from Germany. How are you guys doing in Germany? Yeah. You saw donkeys fly last night. Okay. So I guess I don't know how long this live stream is gonna last. We'll see. I don't really have a set time in my mind, but I did want to come on here and celebrate with all of you and see what you guys were up to last night. But the most important thing as we start this new year that I feel the need to remind a lot of people of, and that is, like, I still talk about politics and whatnot in this channel, but you're gonna hear me start talking more about faith and the subconscious mind and manifesting your desires and your own reality, because this is where I believe we are stuck worldwide as a species. As a species, people like me are going to increase in number over this year, over the next few years. I believe somewhere between 2024 and 2025, we are going to hit critical mass with regards to the awakening that is happening on this planet, or the consciousness that is arising on this planet. And you're going to see a lot more people become more vocal on various topics. And and come 2025, that's when invention will begin, creation will begin, um, shifts, actual shifts that you, if you're paying attention, you'll be able to begin to see come to manifest. This 2023 seems to be more for on a personal scale that you're going to start manifesting. For me personally, I've come to understand that manifestation will begin in my own personal life somewhere after March, because that will complete 3 full years of me being stuck at home. Being stuck at home. And the number 3 really signifies something to me. The Tesla numbers, if you're in my Patreon, you'll know what I mean. Kevin isn't here. Kevin just donated. Kevin donates in 3s, 6s, and 9s to my fundraiser. And speaking of my fundraiser, these chats that I do, guys, I know I talk about different topics and not necessarily politics and lawsuits, but there is a fundraiser attached. It is pinned at the top. I believe I'm going to put it at the description as well as soon as this is over. But I am trying to raise funds and I'd like to reach my goal. Time is running out. So please share. Please share, 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 share. I do appreciate you. Yeah, that I wanted to put that out there right now. Happy New Year, Ivan. Divine Intervention, Ontario. Peace and prosperity. Thank you. Thank you for the lovely, lovely words. Thank you. It means a lot. But you're going to start seeing changes. If you've been doing the internal work, whatever your internal work looks like, it doesn't have to look like what someone else is doing. But you'll start to see the shift happen in your own reality, like your own small circle this year. And like I said, for me, it's going to be after March, I believe. I still have a little more stretch to go. But in 2024, you're going to start seeing it at a community. And then 2025, you're going to begin to see it at a country level, on a wide scale level. And I think I've said before that expect the bad to get worse and the good to get better. The divide is going to continue, the societal divide, because a lot more people need to wake up. And they won't wake up. Those who didn't wake up from and see what we saw, between, Trump, the elections, the corruption in the political system and pretty much medical system and all the systems, if they didn't see it, they need something bigger to happen. And the pandemic, they need something bigger to happen in order for them to wake up. You have to understand that. So the general advice that I would say, hello Faraz, the general advice that I would say is make yourself a promise in 2023. Make yourself this promise today if you want, if it resonates with you. And that is, you are going to simply and only focus on anything and anyone that brings you joy, peace, and harmony and growth, and internal growth. Things that make you shrink, shrivel, get upset and sink in fear and despair and hate, like the news, like the politicians, like the political everything that's happening on the sphere. I turn on Twitter now. I read a few things. I'm not even able to stay a whole 5 minutes on Twitter anymore. The energy of Twitter brings me down now, and I think I've elevated my vibration enough that I need to commit to keeping it elevated. There's no point in bringing your vibration up and then consciously engaging in activities that lower it and then getting angry. So I think Twitter is one thing that's, yeah, I don't want to say I'm going to keep my accounts, but I don't I don't see the benefit of Twitter anymore. I don't get me wrong, I'm okay with Elon Musk. He does funny things. But who am I to judge him? He's a very successful man and an influential man, and he's created a good change in this world. So, but Twitter itself and the general energy of it, I think I'm pretty much done with, and I can do without. I can create my own reality in ways that give me joy, and Twitter doesn't have to be part of that. Or social media. I've completely stopped posting on Facebook. Completely stopped. Um, I don't see the benefit of it. So make yourself that promise that you're going to commit to raising your vibration, and commit to things that make your reality joyful, peaceful, and in harmony. Living it helps you live in harmony. Eliminate everything else that doesn't, and everyone else that doesn't fit into that. Make this promise to yourself this coming new year. You are a powerful being. People like me who were lost forever and a day and woke up during the pandemic are here to remind you that it seems like you've forgotten. You've forgotten how powerful you are, and that you are here to create your own reality and not to be a slave to any system out there. You are here to leave an imprint. We all are. Brandon, it's hiding your comments again. Outside of YouTube, email, this is all I do. It's just too toxic. It is. It is. Yeah. It is really toxic. But you also have the option of just like, I don't even engage. I don't want that energy. It's funny. It's garbage energy. It's just, I'm like, what do you people do? Like the people that are constantly on Twitter tweeting about Justin Trudeau. I'm like, is that it for you? Yeah, I like, thank you. Don't get me wrong. Thank you for your, telling us that we have a piece of shit for prime minister. Great. But I think the majority of Canadians are aware. There is a small minority that are completely brainwashed. I'm not going to tell you they don't exist, because they do. But why do you keep perpetuating this upon yourself? Why do you keep yourself stuck in this energy? Do you want to go be around Justin Trudeau? If you don't, why do you keep tweeting about him? Why do I log into Facebook and this is about Justin Trudeau and that about Justin Trudeau? And why? Why are you perpetuating this? That's what I want to ask. So I've just chosen, and it's not my right to ask because it's their page and they get to post whatever it is they want. So, I just don't log on anymore. I read my books, I learn, I have a lovely, lovely hobby that involves creativity that I do. I'm turning 40 and also writing my last will testament at the end of this year. We should all do that. Yeah, of course. I mean, that if you have dependents, absolutely. We're not in lockdown in Canada, but the area that I'm in, it's better to be in lockdown than to be outside. The general energy of fear. Now, don't mind you, I can walk amongst, I can go outside and not be affected by it, but there's no reason for me to leave anymore. I'm pretty much building my online platforms. I have a few online platforms. I'd like to begin to draw an income online, and I have been slowly reprogramming my own subconscious mind to doing that. Plus, the weather kind of sucks where I'm at. I don't really want to go out. I'm quite content. If I want to go out, I can. There's always that option, But right now, who was it? There was a famous inventor. I forget who it was. There was a pandemic in the 1918. He lived during that time. Was it Newton? You guys might want to look it up, but he locked himself for 2 years at home. And he came up with like laws, like the laws of gravity or the laws of something that with regards to physics that became sort of fundamental, and foundational. Not that I mean, not that I'm inventing laws, but who knows? I can tell you that I've definitely tapped into some significant insight. in the over 2 years that I have been at home. Insight that I believe that we lost throughout the ages, generation through generation. We lost this information. I don't know when, I don't know how, and I don't know why. But for me, it was brought back to life by learning about Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, when I woke up spiritually during COVID, I began to see a lot of numbers, and the numbers were in sequences of threes, sixes, and nines. And it was so much more than a coincidence. Like, people around me would tell me, you programmed your mind that anytime there's a 3, 6, and a 9, you pay attention to it. I'm like, no, it's so much more than that. It is so much more than that. And I don't even know what to tell you. And then when I would begin to get, I call them downloads, but people are not comfortable hearing the term download. When I would begin to get the intuitive sort of hits or downloads, they would occur at times, sequences and synchronicities that were with the clock. And 333 was a big one. 1212 was a big one. 222 was a big one. But threes, sixes, and nines really, really are prominent for me. And just through doing a little bit of research, I realized that Nikola Tesla also was aware of. That's why they're called the Tesla numbers. He's the first one. But he was obsessive. He was really obsessively compulsive, because I think he was a conscious human being in a time period where there just wasn't as many as there are people that are aware and conscious and awake and are also seeing these synchronicities now. He lived in a time period where there was just more unconsciousness. So he kind of went mental with it. He was still aware, he still had awareness, he was still communicating with the universe, but he lost his guidance at some point. Like, he would circle around a building 3 times before he would go in. He wouldn't, any room he would rent had to be divisive. You had to be able to divide the number of the room by 3. So hello, Sahara. Sahara, they're free. Hi, honey, welcome. Thank you for coming. Happy New Year. Hello, beautiful Iman and amazing people here. Happy New Year. Sahara the Free is a lovely lady who's also ex-Muslim. And she, how did I meet you? Was it through Forgotten Feminists? Yasmin Muhammad? But anyway, she's part of that group. She's very active, prominent ex-Muslim, beautiful lady, and very kind, very, 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 very lovely. Yeah, she has a YouTube channel. And yeah, I follow her on Twitter. I follow Sahara on Twitter. Yeah. So yeah, another ex-Muslim. You're an Islamophobe. Another Islamophobe. So yeah, what was I saying? Nikola Tesla, yeah, he kind of lost his way, and then he died a very lonely, lonely death. That you have to understand, Nikola Tesla didn't become famous until many, many years after his death. Yeah, which is funny because so many artists, was it Van Gogh and like so many artists, they didn't become successful or known, and leave an imprint in the world till after they passed. And I just find that fascinating. I just saw the live, so I came here, girl. You're doing a beautiful, amazing work. Thank you, Sahara. Yes, yes, Islamophobia. Yeah. Yeah, that's us, the Islamophobes who ran away from radical Islam to be crapped on and shamed in Canada. That's us, and get sued. Sahara, spread the word, my dear. I've got my fundraiser linked. Share, share, share. I need to reach $30,000 so I can hire a lawyer. I don't have a lawyer. Nobody wants to touch this Islamophobic woman case. So yeah, that's all I can say about the lawsuit, guys. I don't want to get into too much trouble. But yeah, can you imagine? I literally escaped my part of the world because of the garbage that I'm being subjected to here now in Canada. Isn't that something? We actually met in social media before, Yasmin. Yeah, okay, I believe you. I listen. The last year has been nothing but a haze for me. It's been nothing but a haze, honestly. But yeah, probably that's probably true. What else did I want to talk about? Reprogramming your subconscious mind, which is what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of that. Yes, yes, you did. That's right. Sorry, Sahara. Brain is gone. Yeah, I have long COVID. It must be long COVID. That must be it. If even such a thing exists, I don't even know what that means. But it's the buzzword now. Everyone's like, oh, I have long COVID. It's like I'm a victim, you know? I have a lawyer. I need one. Since I have a lawyer, I need one. Listen, it's a shit show right now. I swear. Yeah. But what else? What else? What else? Um, the one thing I did want to talk about, and I did my video about it, and I did want to discuss that, which is why one godless woman. Ever since I began my activism, and you have to understand, I'm done with my activism for the most part. My activism, I don't even believe in activism right now. I believe in raising awareness across this planet. Which is for me that the best way to do it is by being a good, decent, authentic human being, and these little live streams that I do here and there. But I used the term one godless woman, and holy moly, was I ever attacked throughout my activism. Like throughout my activism, throughout it, people would they would think that one godless woman is an attack on their beliefs, is an attack on, their religion or their faith. And it was never that way. One godless woman, and I explained it in the update to my fundraiser. Maybe I'll post the update to my fundraiser underneath this video in the description. So do check the description, guys, because you'll find the update where I explain why I chose the term one godless woman, as well as the link to my own fundraiser for the lawsuit that I'm involved in that is being against me. Yeah, so, but somebody commented that the lawsuit against me is a slap, which interestingly enough is not permitted in Ontario law. And I do believe that to be true, but again, I don't have a lawyer. So again, that's all I really want to talk about this lawsuit. But I chose the term one godless woman because when I was living in Saudi Arabia under radical Islam, I was kidnapped by religious authorities. And because I was in a car with a boy who was not related to me, he was dropping me home after I was on call at the hospital, and my stepmother refused to send the driver. I had a really, really evil, like Cinderella type stepmother who hated my guts and took everything away from me. But she would enjoy tormenting me and torturing me. So anyway, I was post call at the hospital, and a friend of mine, a colleague who was also post call, saw me standing waiting for my driver, and he's like, "Do you want me to drop you home?" I said to him, "Yeah." And it's funny because I believe my intuition kicked in at that point, and I really had a strong hit not to get in the car with him. And I actually asked him, I said, "What if the religious authorities see us, He said to me, "They're just going to think you're my wife. Don't worry, come on." So I'm like, okay, I just wanted to get home and sleep. And I got in the car, and sure enough, we passed by a mosque, and there was a man with a beard, like a religious piece of garbage, and he stared at us. He stared at us so hard, in the vehicle that it scared me. It sent shivers down my spine. And I actually worried. And within, I kid you not, 5 to 10 minutes on the road, 4 GMCs boxed, surrounded our car. We all near killed us on the road. It was a highway. They kidnapped us like thugs, and they beat the living crap out of him. And I was jailed for 3 months in solitary, without knowing anything nothing was explained to me. But while this was all happening, the frequent term or the slur that was used against me was the accusation of being a godless woman. A woman on its own, hurma in Arabic means something that is forbidden. It's an insulting term. So that was used against me, as well as being godless. Uh, and being godless, where I come from, is a serious accusation that can lead to a beheading. It does lead to the death penalty in the form of a beheading. And without getting too much into a saga and turning this into a depressing live stream, that's the reason I use the term one godless woman in my online activism and on this channel, as you can see. It's not, but it's funny because it comes to show you that when you people who tainted me with their own bias, with their own misconceptions and misunderstanding of the term one godless woman, hated me, would attack me, would call me all kinds of names, didn't support me in any shape or form, and went against me just because of my name and judged me. They need to understand that. Please don't do that to other people. Just don't project your limited beliefs onto others. That's the true reason for the name calling of this channel. I wanted to throw it back in their face. Throw it back in the face of everyone who accused me of anything in order to get me killed or get me imprisoned. I used the slur that was used against me to my own benefit. That's all. Sahara the Free, I am so proud of you. What you've been through, you survived the unsurvivable, and you're a badass. I admire beautiful humans like you, and nothing more than ditto, Sarah. You're the same, my dear. You did the same, you escaped the same. Yeah, be proud of you. I'm proud of you. Yeah. Yes, my name means faith. That's what people need to understand. You go look up the term Iman right now, put it in Google Translate, and see what comes up. The word faith or an equivalent to it will come up, because that's what my name literally means. And I do discuss this in the update as well. I had the opportunity to change my name more than once. More than once. When I left my part of the world, when I escaped radical Islam, when I decided to call myself an ex-Muslim. And it's funny because my part of the world and people who are obsessed with Islam, extremists, they get angry at my name. They project hatred towards me. It's funny, I can't get it. I always say people like me are, we're forever suspended between two worlds, accepted by none. Because I anger here people and then I anger there people. But it doesn't matter. That's why people like me exist, to trigger people. To trigger people so that people can see their own limitations and heal them. But unfortunately, a lot of people choose not. They choose not to. So they would yell at me and get angry at me, and they're like, why don't you change your name? If you're an ex-Muslim, why do you keep your name, Iman? Well, because I like my name, and my name means faith, and I've always had faith. I have faith in myself. I view myself, you know how in the past they would say son of God or daughter of God? I see myself as a daughter of this universe. I am part of this universe. The universe works through people like me. The universe runs through you. You're just not allowing yourself to allow it. Like, you're not letting it come through you because of some limited beliefs. So, yeah. Rare strength. Rare strength. Indeed. Lance Johnson is in my Patreon. I promise you, honey, if I can today, I'm going to put out a healing session using my tongue drum to help people get into a relaxed state and repeat some affirmations, whatever affirmations they want for this new year. Don't think that I've forgotten about my Patreon. It's been crazy busy over the holidays, and I've been not in optimal health. But today, I'm hopefully, if not today, tomorrow, I'm going to put out a short meditation video with my tongue drum. And thank you, Lance, for your energy. Thank you for your donation. It is much, much appreciated. And Happy New Year to you, Lance. Yeah. Happy New Year. What else? Yes, you have to be proud of yourself, Sahara. You should be proud of yourself always. Always. Yes. Yes, we are. We are survivors. Oh my god, who's now? Someone's comment. I wonder what makes YouTube filter out some comments. I never know what the algorithm is doing. It's interesting to see. Yeah. My mother was crying the other day as my father passed in January of 2022, and this was her first holiday season without him. It's interesting that you use the term passed on. She shouldn't be crying. I don't understand why people get it. Listen, I understand. My sympathies, okay? My sympathies, my dearest sympathies. But your father is not gone. Her husband is not gone. He's there. You just need to understand and learn how to communicate. That is all. The life that flows on this planet is through us. It flows through our apparatus. Your body is the animation of source. It is the animation that consciousness or the universe experiences this earthly realm through, which is why there is a rise in consciousness going on. We don't die. When the body ends, Eckhart Tolle actually talks about this. He says that the physical form, all physical forms dissolve, but energy is forever. Energy is forever. Source is forever. The universe is forever. God is forever. Whatever term you want to use. Whatever term you want to use to describe what is inside of this apparatus. It doesn't die. It is the physical body that has died. I wish your mother would understand, and I understand her pain, that she is mourning the death of a physical apparatus, whereas the soul is not gone. And should she choose to, she can communicate with your father. And one of the ways that people communicate with loved ones is through people like me. I'm not telling you I'm a medium. I don't even know what medium means. But I definitely do channel energy. And the energy that sometimes presents itself to me is the energy of your guides. And your guides are, in a lot of circumstances, entities that have passed on, or souls that were loved ones in this realm, in this realm, in this earthly realm. So he transitioned. Her husband has transitioned. He has transitioned from one form into the next. He's not dead. He's not gone. So yeah, I don't know if these words aggravate you or comfort you, but that is the reality. That is the reality that people don't know. That people don't know. And that people like me, without sounding too crazy, I don't communicate with the dead. I don't even know what that, like I said, I don't know what that means. But I do know a truth, and that is the truth. The energy that animates us transforms from one shape to another. That's it. That's all. He might be somewhere else right now, living a completely different life, you know? He might be trying to communicate with you or her. Yeah. I have a son that was Muslim and converted to Christianity. His name was Ashan. Give him a Christian name, but it was the choice, so I gave him Stephen. If this is true, then, well, I'm not going to enter this conversation about God, Haken Engman. I'm not entering any conversations about God. I'm keeping this live stream light, and you can come to whatever conclusions you want, honey. But I do appreciate you, and I appreciate your question, and I do appreciate your energy. Thank you definitely for being here. The questions that have been passed down, especially through the atheist movement, there was a big push somewhere between, I want to say, 10 to 15 years ago with atheism, and it was really, really injected with hatred, with a lot of hatred towards an animosity and judgment towards the term God, or that this world was created. Spirituality actually is interesting because it says that I guess that this higher power or consciousness is the formless, and it is from the formless that form comes. Inside of you, the formless exists. Now, this is too deep. It requires a little bit of wisdom and digging into the teachings of Buddha or the teachings of Christ that were not corrupted by the church or religious figures or people who wanted to control humans. Because that's essentially what happened to religion. Religion used to be based on faith. Now it has become to be based on fear and shaming. That's how religion has transformed, and that's why a lot of people have issues with religion. But you have to understand that a lot of these questions, oh, what about God? Oh, then how did God create if God created the universe, who created God? I don't know. I don't have the answer to this right now. But I can tell you that in 10 to 20 years we might. We might have the answers because consciousness is definitely arising on the planet. You also can't examine something outside of this realm by the lens of this realm. You can't. People like me do exist. We do communicate with something. Whatever that is, aliens, the universe, consciousness, our soul, our higher self, God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what is communicating with me, but I can tell you that when it communicates with me, it's there. It's there. I'm not crazy. There can't be a whole section of human beings across this earth that are crazy who are experiencing the same things. A lot of us are seeing synchronicities and are aware of them. A lot of them have begun seeing symbols of sacred geometry. A lot of us are have, like, when consciousness communicates with me, it comes in the form of light. It comes in the form of a flame. And the color of this flame, if you look it up in spirituality, is representative of consciousness. So, but I don't want to get into too much into this because people think that I've gone cuckoo, and I don't want people to think that. I also do try to meet you halfway. You have to understand the 3 years or the 2 years that I disappeared, I was trying to make sense of everything that was happening to me and everything that I was experiencing and everything that, plus the lawsuit, of course, that's fun. But you have to understand, this realm only deals with this realm. This 3D reality that we live in, you can't examine higher realms, 4D, 5D, 6, 7, 8, 9D, with the primitive mindset of 3D. You can't. That's the best answer I can give you to anything regarding a god. Rather than enter fights and conflict and call you names and you call me names, that's where I'd like to leave it. Take it or leave it, it's up to you. Me too, Iman, you're not crazy. Brielle, I'd be interested to hear what it is you're going through, my dear, and when it started for you. If you're ever comfortable, shoot me an email or message me because you're in my Patreon, and I do appreciate your support in my Patreon, Brielle. I love all my Patreon peeps, and I'm not neglecting you. I do promise I'm going to be putting out something soon. Yeah. As time, what? Divine intervention, Ontario, it is at times beyond our understanding. It is beyond our understanding. It is beyond, and even your most scientific scientists who only base their conclusions on evidence and everything that they can see, touch, feel, and hear. When people like myself and like Brielle and like whoever has awakened, when we communicate with our soul or the universe, there's nothing, you can't put it under a microscope. I don't know what to tell you. There's no way you can you can prove it to anyone, not in this realm. The only way you can prove it is by sharing your experience with someone who's going through fucking exactly the same thing. Sorry for swearing. You can't, not everything is examined under a microscope or a CT scan. And interestingly enough, you should look up the rays that are used by the X-ray machine. Look up the frequency of those rays. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but you will be fascinated to know the power of 3, 6, and 9, and how science has utilized a lot of these things without even knowing it. Yeah, yeah, the X-ray machine. I believe there is a creator, a higher, more powerful being than me. There's even evidence of more intelligent life on this earth. I desire acceptance, and from that comes unconditional love. Well, it's funny because the name of my Patreon, the name that I have, or the header on my Patreon is, what did I say? Higher love is the power that controls, higher love is the power behind moksha. Higher love is the power behind moksha. And moksha in Sanskrit means freedom. Once you open your heart, and the reason I was saying in the beginning, stay away, make yourself the promise to stay away from the news, to stay away from anything that dips your energy down into fear and anger and hatred, is because these are the energies that, if you believe in light workers and energy healers and all of that, these are the energies we are dispelling outside of this planet. A lot of what happened to me over the past 3 years, I'm a channel. I don't know if people here know what that is. But when the collective begins to engage in hatred and negativity, people like me, we get sick and we begin to manifest symptoms. And I've learned that, and I've learned to clear that energy through me. It begins to channel through me. So I've been channeling so much over the past 2 years, so much. And when I channel, I realize that I'm helping rid this planet, this collective. I'm only one of a few. Well, we're a few right now. That we channel this energy completely out of the universe. And you'll frequently see me and hear me say, don't recycle this energy. Don't recycle it onto other people, because our task right now, this generation that is awake, our task right now is to get rid of these energies for the next generations that are to come, so that they can live free, happy, prosperous, joyous, and in love. But unfortunately, that's our job, and this is where we find ourselves, and this is why we chose to come here. I do believe I chose to come here. I do believe my work is important. I don't need to be famous on this earthly realm. I get enough acknowledgement from spirit that I know. And if people on here know what the number 333 represents, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I don't want to toot my spiritual horns. Because there are spiritual narcissists, and there is such a thing as toxic spirituality. I might have to close up soon. My throat is starting to get all dried up. Love is not just an emotion, but a way of being. It is a way of being. 100%. It's funny. I woke up, you guys want to know how I woke up this new year? Someone stole money from me. Someone not only stole money from me, they stole my content. I woke up, the first thing I saw when I woke up today was that. And I chose to not focus on it. And to focus on happiness, joy, and love, and prosperity, and the energy of abundance. Not the energy of lack. So yeah, that is very true. Yeah. Well, guys, get some rest today. Continue spreading this positive energy. More positive energy is not negative. No. Listen, the negativity is behind me. I realized I was an extremely negative human being, and I acknowledge that. I'm not going to tell you I wasn't. I was. Uh, that's part of the growth that I've gone through. And yeah, yeah, they did. But it's okay. You know what, Brandon? I'll tell you something. I have come to realize that karma is real. This entire world, it's funny. This life that we exist in is based on karma. It's karmic. I don't believe, if I believed for a second in my heart that the person who stole from me this morning is a happy human being, or that he benefited anything from stealing from me, or that if I was afraid from his actions, I would have done something. But as much as I got triggered, it's funny. It's almost like a force, a divine force of calmness descended on me, telling me, leave it, because something will happen. If not already is happening to this person, they might not know it, but they are not happy inside, and that's enough for me. I woke up. I'm content with myself. I know I am doing well. I am happy with who I am. I don't even need to step foot outside of my door to prove myself to anything or anyone. I don't need to steal from people so that I can fulfill something within me. And that's enough for me. That's enough for me. And if anything, I wish them well. I wish that they would wake up and live a better, more authentic life than to feel the need to steal from people, from anyone. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, thank you, Sahara. Thank you. TZ Burton, my car got hit last week during the winter storm. I was mad, but I remembered that it was just a car. Exactly. It's just a thing. So it's a material thing. Be happy that it was the car that was damaged, not you. That's what I usually tell people, you know? Be happy that the piece of steel that works for you is broken and that your apparatus remains okay. Love you too, Sahara. Okay, guys, I think I need to go rest. I love you. I love you, love you, love you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Oh, there's 20 people in here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to pin my update from my fundraiser, as well as my fundraiser in the description. Please share. Please like. Please raise awareness. Please celebrate and have a happy, happy and joyous new year. And let's bring our new reality and seed it into this earth. All right, guys, I love you.